Hello and welcome to my screencast on my Smart Notebook lesson. Alright, let's begin. Up here you can see that I've put the title of my Smart Notebook lesson, which is La Música y la Cultura Unit Review. So this lesson is basically meant to go at the end of a unit about music and culture. And I've already made the unit, so as you can see it's all very specific. And you'll see that later in the lesson as well. So here are my lesson objectives. You can see them here. Here are my teacher notes saying what level it's for, what the topic is, what the grade is, and prior knowledge. And like I said, this comes at the end of a unit that was already created, so students will already know the vocabulary, they will already have the notes, and they will have basic Spanish relating to the topic, because most of this lesson is going to be conducted in Spanish. And you can see my cross-curricular links. I covered geography, social studies, and music. And here are my lesson notes. And as you can see, I have given pretty good explanations as to what's going on each slide, so that if somebody else wanted to teach this lesson, they could. And there's all of them. And as you can see, there are 10 pages. Great, let's begin. This first slide is a basically like an introduction slide. The teacher will put this up on the board while they are introducing the lesson. So, fun, colorful way to introduce. So let's begin. The first activity I have here is a multiple choice little quiz. Just to review where each kind of music and culture comes from. So the first question here is, where does the music mariachi come from? And so the students will come up one by one. You can do this lesson a lot of different ways. You can do it as a whole class activities, or you can divide your class into two teams, and each activity they both have a chance to win points. So basically how I envisioned this one going is that one student at a time comes up and they do the quiz. So this one, as I know, is mariachi. Great. Next. Where does flamenco music come from? Me and the students will know that this is Spain. Where does cumbia come from? I know this is Colombia. Next. Where does tango come from? Now what happens if I get it wrong? It gives me an X, but it still gives me a chance to try again. So I know that this is Argentina. Great. Now I can finish and I can get my score. And it says 75 because I did get one question wrong on purpose. I can reset it and we can go to the next activity. Now the next section is geography and vocabulary, and this is a little introduction slide to that as well. And let's go. This next one is a geography activity. So again, students can come up one at a time or in a group, and it can be a timed it is a timed activity, so they can see who can do it first, or they can just come up one at a time. So we'll start, and you'll see that it only gives me a few seconds to find out where each one is. Great. And so each one of those little clicks was 100 points. So it graded me based on how close to the little hot spot that I got. So as you can see, I did pretty good. I can reset it, and there it is. Now next. Now this is a activity that I created called Mata Moscas, or fly swatters. So for this activity, two students will come up to a board at once, and they will each have a fly swatter. And let me reset this. And so either me or the students will touch each of these little circles down here one at a time, and they'll give them hints. So you can see this first one is flute. So the students will have to find the word flute in Spanish on the board and hit it with their fly swatter. And the first one to hit the word on the board wins. And as you can see, these are all locked into place. So when the students hit them with their fly swatters, they won't move around and nothing will happen, which is good. So they will just go along like that and find each of the words. And each time one student gets it right, they get a point up here on the scoreboard. There we go. Next activity is an introduction on, basically this will be just main ideas, important ideas from each genre and each country. So this one will be Argentina and Spain, focusing on these two. Now this is a note matching activity. As you can see, there's notes in this section, and they're a little long, so it's kind of annoying that you have to scroll it, but that's alright. So you can get one at a time, two at a time, students to come up to the board for this one, and basically they will need to read the notes and then match them to what country that they're from, either Spain or Argentina. So this one mentions tango, so I know that it's Argentina. This one mentions flamenco, so I know that it's Spain. And you can just keep going down the line on that. Now unfortunately, this activity has a check function, but it won't work for this one that I made because, see, it won't, well, this one did. But see, when you go to edit, you see that even though I've only put the words Argentina and Spain, the smartboard functions as, this is as a pair. So unless I get the same exact Argentina with the same exact note, it's not going to work. So that's unfortunate. I didn't realize that until after I made it. But you don't have to use the check function. Since there's only two things and each of the notes is pretty simple, the teacher will just have to say yes or no, right or wrong, as the students do the activity. So next, we'll have the same thing, only with Mexico and Colombia. El mariachi y la cumbia. Same basic idea. So again, students come up and they match them up, and again the check function won't work on this. And that's it. That's the last one. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great semester.